And when he receives his fourth injury, he will die permanently.
So yeah, so you can't really get too attached to your characters, unfortunately. See if I can.
I think you should restart, because when you change the resolution, something happened there.
Oh, okay. Well, let's not then.
All right.
So we're just going to show you these guys for a while longer. See, we have this regular human medic who has a spot heal and a channeled overtime beam that can get interrupted. So what I should show you really is how you can differentiate your characters through the booster system. Show you in a second.
What's also special for Krater is that right now you have 2 skills per character you're playing, and you can see them at the bottom of the screen when it's not. Oh yeah, down here. And you don't have to actually select a character to use their skills, so you can always reach them on your key bindings, which means that you can run around with that character and start spells from other characters at the same time. Which feels pretty weird at start, but you get used to it pretty fast. Yeah, well, there was a big war like hundreds of years ago, if you start from the Krater timeline. And during that war, there was a huge impact which created a large crater somewhere in Sweden. And that crater actually, when a blast hit the ground, it like threw up the soil and stuff, so it actually was a good thing, because the land outside the crater is like a wasteland, so the crater is this lush area with forests and like mutated beasts and stuff. And in the center of the crater, there's this old tech structure. It's a hole down. Nobody knows what it's for, but that's what you're going to explore in the game, eventually. So you're playing like a few hundred years after this catastrophe. And the crater is like in the lands around, like Sweden and Northern Europe, everybody knows about the crater, and there are like other settlements as well, but Krater is one of them, and it's really rich because beneath the surface of the crater was a huge military installation. So what you do is basically you go down into the remains of these old military bunkers and high-tech facilities, and you gather loot.
Yes, loot's important. So we have a tougher enemy ahead of us here. Let's see if I can do this with these 3 characters. We call this guy the Butcher in-house, but now, yeah, he just butchered my CC, so that's why. See if we can do this.
So,
no. He's a little bit unforgiving, especially when he brings his friends. We'll see if we can restart now.
Yeah, you should.
Oh, got away. So yeah, let's see if we can show you our other team.
We should set the resolution from within the game instead.
Yeah, let's do that.
So we've been working on this game for about a year, a little bit more. It was me and the designer that started in like April last year. And we've been ramping up to about 15 people, maybe like 4 months after that. And it's been kind of tough to make a RPG that fast. It's yeah.
Let's see. No.
It's not good.
Oh, let's not. Let's show you some other exciting gameplay features, such as random encounters. Well, let's visit the hockey town. Our favorite characters there.
Yeah, well, you're actually moving at like lightning speed right now.
Yeah, sorry, this is cheating. You won't be able to experience this in-game. This is a town called Grabbtuna. You can meet nice personalities such as Peter Forsberg. And here's also what a great opportunity to show you guys. This is a doctor in the Krater. He's gonna heal my wounds here to let me die a few more times. If I
wish you could.
Click this, yes.
It's a shame there's no sound.
Yeah. Let's see what kind of weapons and stuff they're offering. I don't know what this is acting up.
Yeah, so...
a weapon store here. Oh, amazing. So we wanted to try to get a few things into the mix that we find interesting with RPGs, such as crafting, and well, obviously the team management part, and humor and exploration.
Yeah.
Yes. It's important to us that our players have fun when they play the game, and not just the ones that are real good RTS players that like StarCraft and other hectic games, like myself. But also anyone who wants to read through the story of the Krater should be entertained. And so our story writer has done a great job doing this. Hopefully you'll like it once you try it out.
So this game is also a dungeon crawler. There's lots of dungeons which are procedurally generated, which means that, well, basically they're kind of random, but there's lots of them.
Okay, so our tank. I was just setting this group up here, like before, trying to get my regulator, this guy, to do the tanking. Seems to work out pretty well. Yeah, we should explain this booster part a bit better, I guess. Right now I'm using this guy as a tank because he's got implants and boosters. I can select him. This is so offset. There we go. Implants. There you go.
It's offset.
It's kind of hard to click. So he's got these slotted buffs with intelligence that makes him cast his spells quicker, and some focus that's gonna raise his damage output, because he's a ranged damage dealer, so they all need focus. And gave him some healing abilities in his the area slow field that he casts. It's going to heal him and all of his allies that are within its range. And also the stun he has is going to raise his stamina, strength, do some extra damage, raise defense and intelligence as well. So you can put all sorts of stuff in their abilities to sort of play around with and try to make the most overpowered characters you can.
Yeah, make or break.
Make or break. It's very much possible to make an invincible team, trust me. can't get through this door. So let's get back up.
It's a door outside.
Let's see if we can encounter something. Don't I know this map? Here we go. Salty Cut Caves. Sounds good. Ooh. So this is one of the stronger ranged characters that you can encounter in the game. Hopefully won't one-shot me. Almost. I'm a little bit too weak for this place.
Yeah.
We should probably go ahead and finish up here. This is annoying. So, let's go back to this. Okay, so maybe you can see this a little bit better now. This is our character screen, where you can manage your characters, your team, basically. You can view all the characters in your roster and put new implants, that is stat boosts, and the boosters into their abilities. So we're trying to improve on this part right now, except for, well, other than making co-op work, we're gonna focus on giving the characters different sets of abilities, so that when you buy a new regular tank, it's not always using the same two abilities that you start out with, even though you can mod them your own way. It seems nice to us too, and we've been wanting to do it for a while, so that's something that's going to be happening pretty soon. So that what I'm saying is, you're buying a new tank, you find a guy in the next town, and he's got this jump ability or whatever instead of the cleave. And also, skipping ahead, with the booster system we got some cool possibilities, and we didn't really we didn't explore all of the possibilities just yet. So hopefully we'll get some cool suggestions from our forums and our community in general of what to do with this. Except for, just the healing and damage extra is cool, but we want to do something cooler.
Yeah.
Yes. And we should be talking a little bit about co-op. Do you want to?
Yeah, we're focusing on finishing the co-op right now. So we're experimenting with it, see exactly where we're going to be with it. Because when you add more players, there will be very many characters, since each player has 3 characters.
Yeah, so
we haven't decided the cap for co-op yet, but we will get there.
Yeah, so this is an example of an outdoor level, sort of what you could expect a complete level to be like in the co-op scenario. Throw a few bosses in there with some cool loot, so to make you guys happy. And there's also PvP, but it's more on the horizon for now. We're still trying to figure out lots of the tweaking and balancing issues with the characters, some setups being too overpowered and all that. And so PvP is gonna come eventually, but we don't have a set date for that yet, do we? No. So this is just an example of the place where we had Peter Forsberg, actually. They have their own hockey rink, where you can fight other players in the future. So yeah, we're gonna try to get some more of these nice posters out in the game. There's lots of art done on like trying to make the world feel more alive, and we want to give players a chance to find these little Easter eggs. So yeah, we really want to look into how to make that happen.
Yeah, and right now in the game, we feel that we really want to add more bosses.
Bosses and abilities.
Bosses and abilities in game, and more lots of more end game content, basically.
Yeah, where the crafting and stuff gets really interesting for the people who are already grinding it days on end. And so we probably should have mentioned that Krater, the version that is out right now, is only the start of a 3-part campaign, really. And so the second part is the gerontocracy. To mention something about it, it's like this really strict society where said to be secure and nice for the poor, because these guys will offer you food and shelter, but it's run by old senile men who are just power hungry and corrupted. So we'll see where this goes. And also the third part is going to be about Broderbo. This place is sort of
an island in the middle of the crater.
Yeah, it's like Manhattan built with containers, where all the fancy high society people live in the crater. You want to talk about the hole, maybe?
No, that's basically a secret.
Oh, it's not. It's not done. So we were super clear about everything, I guess. You don't have any questions? Or maybe you do? What's the hole? Oh, nailed it. Yeah, so what's the hole?
What's the hole? It's actually a secret right now, but it will come.
You can imagine it being like this Pandora's box of goodies where all the high-tech stuff is. The hole is where most of the people in the crater want to be and dig out what they call the old world gear, things that are like remnants of our days, that are just not made anymore in the current state of the crater world. So they're sort of hard to get by. And the hole, yes, that is where you get them.
Any more questions?
Yeah?
I think it's about year 2500 something. So it's pretty far into the future, but I mean the catastrophe was just a few years from now. So it's been like, that's why the environment is so lush. It's been a few hundred years after the war, basically. So it's all overgrown again. And we thought that from the beginning that all post-apocalyptic games, they're so brown, devoid of color. And we really wanted to make a game that was colorful. Because not only is that, it's a better feeling to play that in such environments.
It makes you happier.
Yeah.
Playing in a lush forest than in a grey area.
When will it be released?
It's already out, actually. 12th of June. So we've got some codes actually for you guys that you can have when we're done.
If you're fast.
Yeah? Nothing?
Hey, come on.
Who? Yeah, we'll go with you.
Since you use a lot of Swedish,
Yeah.
do you aim for the Swedish market or international?
Good question. Actually, yeah, sorry. Our target audience is not only Sweden, of course, or Swedish people. The question is, like, what is our target audience? But we wanted to make a game that is fun for everyone, even if you're not like into the whole Swedish names thing. I had a blast actually because we put in randomized character names just like 2 weeks, a week before release, and that also got added in with like randomized character models, sort of like what kind of hats they wear and things like that. So my favorite name so far is probably Rim Fågelholk or Massarin Myrslok. But so you can get all sorts of like strange names, and we will try to add more of those, and hopefully we won't go bananas and just add old Swedish names and do something for the international audience as well. We could probably get better at it, actually. So we'll try to.
I can say, from the beginning, the game was supposed to be in like the Central Europe, but then we thought about it and we discussed it a lot, and we thought, well, hey, let's place it in Sweden because we know Sweden. So we did that, and then we went all bananas with Sweden. So it was just in-house jokes, Swedish jokes, so nobody would have understood it, and that was like, I don't know. New Year, we decided, hey, we have to like go back towards English audience again. So now it's like a mix, I guess.
Yeah, trying to please everyone, of course.
Yeah.
But there are plenty of things that you'll find are sort of internal Swedish references. See if you can find them all. Anyone else? You? The cost? The cost of Krater is €15.
It's
Steam?
Is it 30.99? 15 maybe. I'm not sure.
14.99, yeah. 150 Swedish. $15.
Or it's like 18.99 for the collector's edition.
Yeah.
Where you get like a unique character.
Dr. Cerebro.
Yeah.
Cool brain guy. Any other questions? Yeah?
When do you expect co-op to be out?
We're aiming for the 10th of July.
So pretty soon.
I think 10th, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is what we promised.
Yes.
We'll make it happen. Yeah?
The team is about 15 people. So we've been like between 1 and 4 programmers, 1 environmental artist, basically made everything you see in environmentals. And then there's 1.5 animator, I guess.
Yeah.
And some modelers and texture people.
We sort of have to share some personnel in between the projects.
Yes.
And the other one being War of the Roses, of course. I don't know about the tournament right now. Anyway, let's not sidetrack. We're only 10 to 15 on Krater, but we aim to make the most out of the community feedback. So to shape the game after what the demand could be.
More questions?
Yes. You.
You said that the game would be approximately like 10 hours. Is that now in 3 parts?
No, sorry. Yeah, the length of the game, the campaign. The campaign on its own takes me about 10 hours to play through. And I've done that a few times, so maybe I'm not...
I think I would do it in like twice.
Yeah, perhaps.
Twice that.
But yeah, no, there's tons of stuff to do in the Krater universe, and so I couldn't estimate what time it would take to complete all the quests and get all the characters and stuff. But for all the 3 campaigns, at this point, I have no idea. But the other two, I'm not sure they're going to be quite as long as the first one, but they're going to be filled with more optional content than this. If that's an answer to your question. Good. You?
How big is the world? How many cities?
I think we've categorized them as large, medium, large, and small cities. I don't know, there's like 10 to 15 city locations, I would say. I should know.
Like how many dungeons? Like 50?
Yeah, maybe 40 dungeons or so that you can enter outside of the cities to make side quests and stuff. But yeah, I'd say 10. Anyone else?
You had a question?
Yeah, will the campaigns be like expansions or will we get them free?
I think we haven't decided yet. I think they might be paid DLCs, but we have to see where we're at that time. But what we're aiming for is to add content all the time, basically patching continuously, at least some new content every month.
Yeah.
For free. So more dungeons and more bosses and more skills over time.
Yeah, exactly. Right now we're just working hard to finish up on some stuff we didn't really have time to do up until release, but we're still working on, like you said and I said earlier, more abilities, because that's super important to us. More stuff to play around with and more bosses to kill for good loot.
I wasn't here in the beginning, but so maybe it's but can you create your own contents? I mean, find stuff and combine them into.
You're talking about crafting and yeah. So if you can create stuff, yes, absolutely. There's the crafting system in Krater is quite simple, but we still wanted to give some sort of logic and depth to it. So basically, if you manage to craft a syringe, you can craft something that uses the syringe and like an injector of sorts to buff your characters. We actually did not even mention gadgets. There's like 2 equipment slots for your characters in Krater. One is for the weapon, and the weapon is, well, obviously used to kill things, but it has a big impact on your abilities, what sort of weapon you use. And also there's the gadget slot, and gadgets are basically these little trinkets that you can use to get small advantages in combat, like short-term buffs or stat increases that are like a niche in some direction. So yeah.
And grenades and faster running speed and stuff like that.
But like the crafting system is pretty basic at this time, but I would like to expand a little bit on that too and try to make more recipes with stuff you can craft and new weapons and stuff. Just stuff. Yes.
Jag har fått in en fråga från Twitter.
Okay.
De undrar när kommer online-läge?
10 and the 10th of July. We aim for 10th of July.
Yeah,
Yes.
same as with co-op.
Yeah.
We'll go for online staves and stuff.
We might open up for some beta testing of that before, just to make sure it's stable. So we're actually, I think we're aiming for having, like you play on Steam, but you can have play of the beta or the stable one at any time. So when we add features, we'll first add it to the beta, and you can always play that if you want to, but we don't guarantee anything with it. And then those features, when they're stabilized, they will be moved over to the...
Yeah, so it's going to be more like a test server thing,
Yeah.
where we'll wipe stuff regularly, probably. Yeah. And yes.
Modding and
Yes, we haven't had time to expose the game for it yet, and it also has to do with the engine, the BitSquid engine, which is pretty soon is going to be open up for like students and everyone. But right now, we only have company clients for the BitSquid engine. So we need to polish it a bit more, make it a bit more friendly, or BitSquid has to do that. And when that's ready, we can open up also Krater for modding.
Mm-hmm.
One last question. Okay.
Last chance, people. So next question gets a free game. This is going to be no one. Sorry?
How many times do you use the word hockey?
Oh. Best question. How many times do we use the word hockey in the game?
You should know that.
It depends on how many hours you'd like to spend talking to Peter Forsberg, I would have to say. He mentions the word hockey quite a few times. So
that's it, I guess.
Yeah, we'll give you some game codes because we're so nice.
Yes.
So just come and hug us and get a free code. Thank you.